Yo, Dad, you gonna tell me what a CVT is now, or do I have to keep waiting? Nah, you've waited long enough. I'll tell you. CVT stands for Continuously Variable Transmission. Continuously variable? So it's constantly changing? What does that even mean? Well, the first thing we got established is the CVT has no gears. Wait, what? How does it drive then? Instead of gears, it has cones and pulleys. Like a supercharger pulley? Yeah, similar concept. But in this case, these cones move. And depending on how they move, it either decreases or increases the diameter of the belt. That's how a CVT changes gears. So if it doesn't have any gears, what's the paddle shifters for? That's just to simulate conventional gear changes if you're someone that enjoys that type of driving. But if you kept the CVT in auto mode, you could floor it all the way to almost redline and it would stay there. But the car would just keep on accelerating. So it's like an endless gear? Yeah, exactly like that. CVT's main purpose is for fuel economy and for a smooth acceleration. Cool. Are there any downsides to CVT? If something breaks, it's going to be a costly repair. And if you're trying to push a lot of power, the CVT might not be able to hold it. That's where traditional gears take the dub. Sounds like cool technology. Was this a recent invention? Nah, Leonardo da Vinci came up with the concept. The Wolf of Wall Street? No, that's DiCaprio. Da Vinci's and Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Whoa. Yo, is that your Subi? Yeah, it is. I like it, man. What you got done to it? The Subi Rumble sounded really nice when you pulled up. You might think I'm crazy, bro, but it's actually Honda powered. Wait, what? But I could have sworn I heard the Subi Rumble. No, I swear I blew up my original motor. I always wanted one of these cars for the Subi Rumble. Plus, they just look so nice. That's true, they're pretty clean. So why'd you swap a Honda motor in there if you wanted Subi Rumble? Well, I swapped the Turbo B Series in there. And coincidentally, a Turbo B Series with unequal length headers sounds like a Subi. Not exactly, but it's close enough. I figured if I could make it sound like a Subi still with the tunability of a Honda and reliability, game over, man, you got the best of both worlds. That actually makes a lot of sense. I'm curious. Since you put a B Series in there, how much are you pushing? Because I know some of the fastest drag cars are running B Series. Well, the original motor was good for 400 to the wheels, but I kind of pushed it a little past that. So with the B Series, I toned it down to around 300. Then later this year, if funds are good, I'm going to build everything. Dang, dude, how much you trying to push out of it? Well, it's nothing crazy compared to the people pushing 900 to 1,000. I think when all said and done, yeah, I'd be happy with 600. Yo, Dad, I want to make my car faster. What's a cheap, easy mod that I could do to unlock some extra horsepower? Well, what do you have in your car already? Nothing, it's bone stock. The cheapest and easiest thing you can do is toss on an aftermarket intake. Really? And that'll make my car go faster? Yeah, but not by much. How does that even work though? Okay, so the basics of an engine. You got air, fuel, and spark. Those three things are the basic principles of an engine. Okay. With modern cars like the Subaru WRX, you actually don't need an aftermarket intake unless you're trying to make big numbers. But since you're trying to mod a car from the 90s, I assume the factory airbox is kind of restrictive. And that's the problem. Why? Can you breathe better with one or two nostrils? Two? Exactly. Your factory airbox is like breathing through one nostril when you should be doing it with two. If your car's not getting enough oxygen, the fuel's not going to be burning as efficiently. Meaning, there's still some extra potential to be unlocked. Oh, I get it now. When you toss on an aftermarket intake, the car gets more adequate oxygen. Therefore, the fuel burns more efficiently, and because of that, your car is able to squeeze out some extra horses. So I can just toss any intake on my car? Well, you have options. You want a short ram intake that sits up in the engine bay? It looks cool, and you can take in more air. Okay, what's the other option? Well, you could do a cold air intake, which situates itself further away from the engine. When the intake is around the engine, it could take in a lot of heat. But if you put it further away from the engine, it's taking in cold air. But what's so special about cold air? Isn't air just air? You would think so, but no. Cold air is denser than hot air. Oh, and it also has more oxygen. Oh, so it's more efficient. Exactly. So if I wanted to put an intake on my car, how much would it cost? Well, you can find some for as cheap as $50. But if you opt for a cold air, it might be like 150 to 200. Oh, that's not bad. And how much more power can I expect to make? It varies from car to car, but we'll be generous and say anywhere from 5 to 15 horsepower bump. It's nothing crazy, but you will feel a difference. Plus, they sound cool too. No way! Do you think you can help me install it? Dude, it's so easy, I guarantee you can do it all by yourself. Okay, thanks, Dad. Hey, Dad, can I buy a Prelude? No, you don't need one. I know I don't need one. I want one. Plus, I'm gonna buy it myself. What's the big deal? You're still dumping money into your first car and you're gonna buy another one? Why can't you just drive this? I know hella kids with Preludes would kill to drive one of those. Yeah, it's cool and all, but it's too flashy for me. I would kill to drive a Prelude. You're not letting this go, huh? Nope. Tell you what about you and me take a trip off to Japan? Do some sightseeing, pig out on food, maybe stop by the auctions. We're gonna import a Prelude? Wait, how come you want to import one but you don't want to let me buy one here? I'm just messing with you. I don't care what you do with your money. Just wanted to see if you'd like to take a trip out with me. I do like spending time with you, you know. Huh. Me too. Plus, it's right-hand drive, bro. That alone is a cool factor here. Did it take you a while to get used to right-hand drive? About a couple days. It's a very unnatural feeling at first. You know, when I first flew to Japan to import my car, I wasn't much older than you. But even back then, I imagine now. So you've always planned on bringing me to Japan to import a car? Even before I was born? Yeah, of course. All throughout my 20s, I was motivated to work for a family I didn't even have yet. But I knew I wanted to give you guys the world. All the things I've given you in this lifetime are things I wish I had in mind when I was your age. So, I've had a lot of time to think about what I wanted to give you. Well, you've given me a lot, Dad. I never knew about any of that. Good. That just means I've been doing a good job. Your dad, what's offset? You talking about the Migos? Nah, not the Migos, wheels. I'm trying to buy some new wheels and I want to make sure the fitment is perfect. Oh, that's easy. I got you. You ever looked at the specs of a wheel and, for example, would just say 18 by 9.5 plus 38? Yeah, I know the 18 is the diameter of the wheel and the 9.5 is the width. But what's that plus 38 for? Well, that's your offset right there. In my opinion, that's probably the most important spec of the wheel. Offset's basically just how far the mounting point is from the center line of the wheel. So if we took plus 38, for example, what would that mean? So it's 38 millimeters away from the center line of the wheel? Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay, I get it. But in which direction? Does that mean it sticks out further or it sinks in further? Well, when I first got into cars, I made the mistake of thinking that plus meant further out. Would you guess that plus 22 sticks out further or plus 45? Plus 45? Wrong. Plus 45 would be the wheel that's more sunken in, and plus 22 would be the wheel that pokes out further. There's positive offset, zero offset, and negative offset. Zero offset is dead center in the center line of the wheel. Positive offset would have the mounting point closer to the face of the wheel, whereas negative offset would have the mounting point of the wheel past that center line and towards the back of the wheel. Is it kind of making sense now? Yeah, I think so. So the higher the offset, the further in it sinks, and the lower the offset, the further out it pokes. Exactly. Now you know how to buy wheels. Sweet. Thanks, Dad. Yo, Dad, what's drop a gear and disappear? Does it have something to do with the transmission falling apart? Nah, not at all. It means you're in for a fun time. Wait, do you know how to drive stick? No, you never taught me. Oh, my bad. Don't worry, I'll teach you soon. But anyway, say you're trying to race someone, right? Okay. And let's just say, for example, you're currently in fourth gear chilling at 2,000 RPMs. Let's say the car next to you is trying to race you. They honk 3 times, and after that third honk, you just mash the throttle. What do you think's gonna happen? Well, if it's pedal to the metal, I assume you just take off, right? Yeah, you'd think so, but no. If you were to just floor it from there, the car might struggle to get up to speed. Really? Why? Well, essentially, you're not in the optimal gear. When your car struggles to accelerate due to being in the wrong gear, that's called lugging your engine. And it's not exactly a good thing. So what do? Well, that's when you would drop a gear and disappear, aka downshifting. I'm kinda confused. If your goal's to go faster, why are you going down a gear? Well, you're actually right. If you wanted to go faster, as in hitting a higher speed, then yeah, you'd be in a higher gear. But if you wanted to accelerate quicker, then you go down a gear. The lower gear can accelerate quicker, but it's going to max out at a lower speed. The higher gear won't accelerate as hard, but you'll reach a higher speed. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I think I get it now. So does this only work on manual cars? No, not just manual cars. You could do it with any car that allows you to shift. But now you know what it means. Sweet, thanks, Dad. I'm gonna go try it right now. Wait. Hey, are you in charge here? Yes, indeed. What brings you in? So I have my car chilling outside, and it's having trouble starting up. Sometimes it just shuts off while it's idling. You think you can help me out? Oh yeah, easy. Well, it's clear to me without even laying a finger on the car that your spark plugs are going out. Oh, that's it? Now I'm gonna need to replace the coil pack, starter, your transmission, oil, coolant, brake fluid, blinker fluid. I noticed your tire tread's really low. We gotta replace that as well. Same thing with those brake pads and rotors, man. We can't let you out of the shop like this. Oh, and one more thing. We gotta replace your mirror cap. Really? But there's nothing wrong with it. See? It's not supposed to fall off like that. Well, I mean, you kind of smacked it hard. Wait, never mind that. Why do I need to replace all these things if it's just for the car starting up? It's just preventative maintenance. Better take care of it now before it gets worse. I'm just looking out for you, man. Alright, man. Whatever you gotta do. So how much do I owe you? Well, after adding everything up, parts and labor, 25,000. 25,000? Dude, the car's valued at 3. I'm gonna just go to another shop, bro. Excuse me, bro. Are you in charge here? Yes, indeed. How can I help you? Well, my car's having trouble starting up and holding an idle. I just came from the shop down the road and they quoted me $25,000. Oh, that guy? Ugh, don't bother. Let me take a look at the car real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Well, figured it out. For real? What was the issue? It's just your battery. It's only got about a third of its life left. Is that expensive? No, it's only like $100. For real? Dude, thank you so much. Yeah, anytime. Your dad, what's the cheapest way I can make my car look cool? What's done to it already? Nothing. It's bone stock. Well, first thing I do is probably lower the car. What's your budget? I have about like 250 set aside for car funds. Man, look at you being financially responsible. Should I look for some wheels? Well, if you come across a really good deal, by all means. But in my opinion, a car with aftermarket wheels and stock ride height can look a bit off. Only reason I know is because I did that with my Civic. But if I can go back in time, I probably would have done suspension first. Really? Why? Well, let's think about it like this. Buying new wheels is like buying new shoes. Would you rather have really nice shoes in a fit that doesn't flow? Or would you rather have okay shoes but a fit that flows? Probably okay shoes with a fit that flows. Exactly, it just makes a bit more sense. But of course, if you find a really good deal, then you should buy the wheels first. So how much do you want to lower your car by? You trying to slam it to the ground? Nah, I don't have bars like that. Maybe just like inch and a half drop. Oh, perfect. Why don't you just get lowering springs? They're way cheaper than coilovers, and if you're only trying to go an inch, inch and a half down, then they're perfect for you. Oh, sweet. So how does it work? Well, it retains the factory struts, so you want to remove those and take out the original spring. That way you can toss in the stiffer and lower spring. Just slap it back on the car and there you go. Really? It's that simple? Yeah, I'll help you. Plus, not only will it make the car look cooler, but if you get stiffer springs, then it'll handle better too. So are there any downsides to running lowering springs? Well, realistically, the only thing I could think of is you can't adjust them. But that's fine, you could use it as a temporary solution until you save up for coilovers. Can you teach me about those? I'll teach you next time. But for now, let's hop online and buy some lowering springs. Dang, that's a clean E36. Yo bro, is that your car? Yeah, I just finished the project last week. No way, congrats, man. So what was your budget for this project? Nothing crazy, it was only 6K. And I even happened to come in under my budget. That was less than 6K? Yeah, so I got a rolling shell off of Facebook Marketplace for 200 bucks. 200? Wow, they really wanted to get rid of it. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That is facts. So what did it look like when you picked it up? It was literally just the car on wheels. No doors, no engine, no transmission. But for 200 bucks, I can't complain. Wow, you really got it back in tip-top shape. Oh, trust, dude, I was so blessed to come across these parts. The doors I found on another E36 from a pick and pull. Only cost me 40 bucks out the door. No pun intended. That's really good. Front and rear bumpers were at a pick and pull for like 80 bucks. Where are you going for all these parts, man? My local pick and pull doesn't have anything. You gotta go to the rich cities, bro. I'm telling you, rich people will just toss out perfectly good things. I found the engine and transmission in an old M3 that was just abandoned. It was actually the same one I pulled the bumpers off of. Literally a whole intact M3. But I wasn't allowed to buy the car, so I just took like 90% off of it. Dude, the motor only has 7,000 miles. And I bought that and the transmission for only $300. What am I doing wrong? Nothing, man. You just gotta keep looking. All in all, I think I only spent about 3.5 grand to get the car looking like this. What the hell?